This is Musy's YouTube podcast, recorded at approximately 9:11 p.m. on the 21st of December, 2013. Today's podcast is going to be about something that I've become obsessed over, and I really want to talk to you guys about it. No, we are not talking about Christmas for the last time. We're not. Get over it. I know it's December, but we're not talking about Christmas. I'm actually doing this a little differently. Normally I stand when I do a podcast, but we'll see how this goes. This might take a little bit longer than an hour, because, reasons. But I'm sitting on the floor this time. I'm just kind of hovering over my mic. Kind of a sound test, if you will. And hopefully I don't get distracted by Tumblr as I search through this topic at hand on Tumblr, because Tumblr's a thing. Why not? We want to talk about a very interesting group that I have been discovered by. You know who you are if you're listening to this, you brat. My friend got me addicted to this this group, this amazing fandom, and I wanted to share it with you, because holy snickerdoodles, I'm losing my mind, and I think you guys need to hear these guys. Best part is that these guys are actually quite entertaining despite their children-like rating, but they are hilarious, they are amazingly talented, and they need more buff than they've got, and I've practically lost my mind with these guys. I still have yet to order their album. I'm going to order their CD here soon. But in the meantime, I'm broke as hell. So that's a thing. Probably might fill up my gas tank tomorrow. And then I'm pretty much broke. So, what is it that I'm here to fangirl and freak out about? It is a beautiful band. They are the singing musical automatons, built in the 1800s, come to this time period to not only create crazy mayhem, but to create awesome music. They are the Steam Power Giraffes. Steam Power Giraffe has been in my brain for the past 2 or 3 weeks now. I think I might have been 2 weeks now. And let's just say my brain has gone also on that note, I'm also the inner interviewer in me wants to do an interview with any of the members of the guys, mostly because I want to interview these people, but I don't know how to do a Skype call interview. I don't know how that works. I don't know if you have to have some kind of software, or if that comes included in the program, you have to pay for it. I have no idea how to do that. It's just total bullcrap. I want to do this as an interview with them, but unfortunately you'll be just listening to me ramble on and on and on, and we're 3 minutes in, and I already feel like I've talked about nothing. But anyway, let's talk about Steam Power Giraffe. So what is Steam Power Giraffe? Well, Steam Power Giraffe is a group of really awesome people who have created this band that has actually started to take some notice in the world of conventions, in the steampunk world as well, and they're starting to become big. They are becoming this phenomenon. They're not big, huge, Justin Bieber and Linkin Park. It's not like it's this big name that the media has picked up on, but they are slowly starting to pick up. I highly recommend you guys going on YouTube and watching some of their gigs, because they are amazing, and you need to enjoy some Rex Marxley and cry during Honeybee. So for those who don't know, there are 3 automatons. They are called automatons, basically another word for robots. They are 3 people who dress up in makeup and use miming as well as robotic movements to represent automatons. There's also 2 humans on top of that, so there are 5 members of the band. We have Matt Smith, who is on the drums, Michael Reed, who does keyboard and other instruments, also helps with assembling the music together when they are making new songs. He kind of helps with the background tech stuff. In terms of music, there's actually a little What Do I Do video on the Steam Powered Giraffes YouTube channel, so be sure to watch that. Sam Luke, who is one of the automatons, he is Hatchworth, or as I call him, Hatchie. There is David Michael Bennett, who is the Spine. And then there's Bunny Bennett, born Chris Bennett, but goes by Bunny Bennett. And I say she because she's going through a transgender phase, going from male to female. So I will be referring to her as she instead of a he, even though most of the footage you've seen thus far is primarily male. We will be soon seeing some footage with her being a female dress and new makeup and gig. So I cannot wait for that. That is going to be amazing. I am very excited for her transition. I wish her luck on her endeavors to become a female. It is a very stressful thing to probably go through, and I cannot understand in my own self-experience what that has to be like. So just a quick shout out to Bunny. I wish you luck on all of your endeavors to become a female. And if anybody has a problem with it, suck it. So here we go. So okay, this is really hard to talk about. Once you get the ball rolling, it's fine, but getting that ball started is hard. Because you don't know where to start. This thing is huge to my mind. It is really hard for me to just sit down and go, oh, this is what it is, boom, you're done. Because Steam Powered Giraffe is not just some simple show that does music, okay? They actually are more than just a band, and they're more than just an act. For those who don't really understand what this is, it's a concert, basically. When you go to see a show, it's a concert, but they also have this really amazing system of skits in between. They have an interesting set of interactions with each other, so there's some ad-libbing involved. It's a couple of interesting notions, but some of you may be asking, what is it about Steam Powered Giraffe that you have become so obsessed with this, Megan? What is it about Steam Powered Giraffe that you have literally gone completely cuckoo? And what I can indeed tell you is that Steam Powered Giraffe has something that I will explain in some kind of interesting, thorough understanding of what Steam Powered Giraffe is. That they have something that not very many other people in their genre, let alone in the industry, have. And I feel like I need to get this out of my system. So please do bear in mind, I am trying to explain this in a simple manner, but I don't know if I'll be able to or not. But first, let's talk about what they used to be. And we will progressively through the timeline go on up. Actually, on their website, they have a timeline of the actual canon story of their characters. That's an interesting read. Read through that. It's really interesting. It's really easy to read, as well as their lore. There's like a lore that talks about, how they originally were built, and it kind of goes more in depth of the beginning of that. Read that on steampoweredgiraffe.com, and you can catch up on that if you feel like you don't quite want to listen to me babble about that, but you can read that real quick. It's on their website. Excuse me. It is on their website. I believe it's under Fiction. On the upper banner, you can find Fiction, and go on that. Click on that. The comic is not up yet, so if you click on comic and be like, where's the comic? Well, it's being made. It's supposed to be released here soon. But the other two links should be available to click on. So click on those, and you can see some of the background of what I'm about ready to talk about. Here we go. So, 8 minutes in, I still haven't gotten to the point. Okay, here we go. So, Steam Powered Giraffe originally started out as a San Diego side road gig, basically. They would make songs, they would sing not parody, I guess. There might have been a couple times they might have done that, but I think it's mostly cover. There were originally 4 members, and they were all automatons. 2 of which are there to this day, one of which held on for technically two albums. But there was one girl who was in this band. Her name is Upgrade, and she eventually left. I can't remember her name. I'm so sorry. I don't know which an insult on her behalf. But she went out to do her own endeavors, and I do not remember her name. I feel bad. I feel bad. I'm so sorry. But she went out to do her own career in the acting business and to go on and do her own thing. But at the time, there was just the 4. Michael Reed soon joined in. They needed somebody who could record the music. They eventually made the first album. And Upgrade left soon after, so then it was down to 3. Now, Hatchworth was not a member at this time. In the very beginning, the four was the Spine, Rabbit, Upgrade, and the John. The John held on for the first two albums, and he decided to leave soon after they were done performing at the San Diego Zoo. Personally, I'm going to go ahead and just give my short little tidbit review. Upgrade is not my personal favorite, though I will admit she has a good voice. It just didn't work for Steam Power Giraffe, in my personal opinion. She has a very operatic voice, and that's not what Steam Power Giraffe is. Steam Power Giraffe is very harmonic and very, I don't want to say country, but there's a lot of folk-like songs involved, so there's some of that. There is some country in there, there's some rock in there, but a lot of their first songs were very folk and fun child-based. It was made out of joke. It was made to be a joke. They weren't even really serious about it at the time. And, so I really don't take Upgrade seriously because of that, and I don't want to mean any kind of form of insult, but she didn't fit, personally. I don't feel she fit at all. I feel like she was a little bit of an awkward jigsaw puzzle, and just didn't quite fit in there. But that doesn't mean she wasn't talented, it just didn't fit with the Steam Power Giraffe. The John, on the other hand, is kind of a mixed feeling with me. The John harmonized really well, actually. I really liked his voice in the group. He did a very good job with harmonizing with the Bennetts. I don't know if I mentioned it, but they're twins. So harmonizing with twins is easy. Their voices are relatively the same, generally. There might be a little bit of a difference there, but they sound pretty much alike enough that you can harmonize, and the fact that he was able to do so works. It works really well. So I don't put too much harm done on the John. My problem with the John was the fact that he just had no personality. Personally, I saw that he had no personality. Simple. He was very boring to me, and he didn't make any sense, and he didn't look like he was committed. He didn't look like he was having any fun, except for in the DVD. I mean, on the DVD, he looked like he was having at least a decent time at doing that. He looked like he was having fun, but during the performances, I watched him on YouTube, he looked like he was bored. I don't know if that's me misevaluating, but he didn't look like he had too much fun. Maybe that's just me misreading him, and he would smile all the time, but I don't feel like he was committing a whole bunch to it. Maybe that's just me. But I don't feel like he was committing as much as he could have been. He could have been committing a lot more, and he just wasn't doing it. But he did sound great. The second album did really well. It did decent for its first run, from what I understand. It's been picking up recently, but when it first started out, it was just for fun. Afterwards, they had the San Diego Zoo performance. It was a 70-some day straight performance run at the San Diego Zoo. They then did that. Soon afterwards, the John left. Now, there was another member of the band that was joining in as a drummer during that time, and his name was Sam Luke. They have been bugging him to be part of the band originally, and he joined as the drummer, to which then when the John left, they said, "Hey, be an automaton." And he was like, "Fine. I'll be your automaton." So he became Hatchie, which we now have to this day the new set. They had another guy come in as a drummer, and I think he performed for them at UMaCon. We now have Matt Smith, who is the drummer now. So we have Michael Reed, Bunny Bennett, David Bennett, Sam Luke, Matt Smith, Michael Reed, Bunny, David, Sam, Matt. Yeah, there you go. So you have those are the remaining 5 members, or the main members. They have Steve, who is their sound guy, which is, they actually include him into the band, which I think is really neat. The sound guy doesn't normally get included into anything, really, and I think that's really cool that they include him. Like, he's part of the group, he needs an applause too, and he gets it, and it's cool. I love that. That's actually really neat. Most groups are like, yeah, he's a sound guy, whatever, but he's a really cool guy to hang out with, and so on and so forth. So, those are the new guys we have today. So, who are the rest of these guys? I can't say anything about Matt Smith. He just sits there and plays the drums. I got a feeling that Hatchie's going to start interacting with Matt Smith a bit. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but I really think there's going to be some interaction with Matt Smith. I hope so, because I'd like Matt Smith to get more involved than just the drummer. So I can't say much about that. Michael Reed is an adorable little puppy that needs to be put on a leash in a cage and contained because that adorableness should not exist for the masses. That adorableness should not exist for the masses. He's too cute. You're a puppy. Get in that cage and stay there. You're adorable. Stop being adorable. He does most of the music tech, like I said before. He's very hands-on with that kind of work. But does get involved. In canon with the story, the humans who perform with them are the ones that also do engineer stuff involving the automatons. Whenever they break down or anything goes wrong, they're there to fix them up. Yay! Especially with Rabbit. We'll get through in a minute. So, let's get that's all done. That's your basic background of the band. I don't really want to get too much into the lore of the actual automaton canon. And there's a train. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a train. Stop it. You done? Okay. So, no, stop it, train. Enough. We get it. Stop crying to us. So, so we have Sam Luke, aka Hatchie. So, what do I got to say about Hatchie? I really don't have a lot. Hatchie's fairly new, so I really don't have any kind of evaluation of him yet. I feel like I need to see him perform more. I need to see him do more as a character. Now, as a performer, he's fantastic. I love how much charisma this group has, and it shows a lot that Hatchie's important to this group. I was actually trying to figure out what I wanted to say about him, and I was like thinking to myself, well, Hatchie, doesn't have any drastic features other than just being kind of the young little brother, the little itty bitty baby brother, I guess you could say. And I guess in terms of Sam's performance, he's doing a great job. He's doing a fantastic job. He does have some quirks to figure out on his own. He's still fleshing out the character, seeing what he can do, what he can't do, what he likes, what he dislikes, and just how he interacts with the group. If you watch, there's a short couple of clips on the YouTube of YumaCon 2012 when they performed, and what happened was Rabbit's mic or something died. They were having technical difficulties. I don't know much about what exactly happened, but the mic died. For some reason or another, the mic died, and so they had to do a 20-minute ad-lib. Stop, train. Go away. Nobody likes you. I don't even know if you can hear that, but there's a train. I'm assuming not, because it doesn't look like on the visuals that it's picking it up. Don't care. That's annoying. So anyway, train, stop interrupting me. Basically, but yeah, the mic failed, and so 20 minutes of ad-lib. This was the first big performance as Hatchie. And the mic dies on Rabbit, so Bunny walks off stage. And basically, Spine and Hatchie have a 20-minute ad-libbed performance while Rabbit gets her mic fixed. And I'm just like, really? But for a first attempt at doing that, bravo, dear sir. You deserve a bow. That was great. So he's doing really well, and I think he needs a little bit of work still, but we can... I still need to see more of Hatchie and what is going to develop of Hatchie, so I need to see more of that. However, Rabbit. I need to see Rabbit holding a rabbit. I've only seen one picture of this. There need to be more. Rabbit holding a rabbit. Make it happen. So, Rabbit. There is a big blowout about her gender switch. The only confliction I found with that is the fact that in canon, Rabbit isn't into upgrades. Rabbit won't upgrade. These automatons, by canon, were developed... They were created back in 1896. So she doesn't really upgrade herself. She doesn't like to, anyway, because she wants to hold on to what was originally there from back when she was still... Back when the original creator was still alive, and she wants to hold on to that. So it feels odd for me to have, like, a gender switch and a gender change when she doesn't like being upgraded. So I'm not sure how that fits. Other than that, I really have no objection. I'm just like, do it! This does sound like something Rabbit would do. It's just not exactly what Rabbit would do. By persona, Rabbit is a very much of a, hey, I'm going to do this, and you're not gonna care. I don't care. I'm gonna shake my hips like I just don't care. Because Rabbit has weapons of mass destruction called the hips, and need to be contained along with Michael Reed. Like, those two things need to be in a box and held tight where nobody else can touch them. Kind of funny when you think about that. But Bunny is special. I love Bunny. Bunny is amazing. Actually, Hatchie is special. Hatchie is a special kind of special. Bunny is adorable. And Rabbit is adorable. Rabbit is the oldest and yet acts like the child. Rabbit, I believe, by canon, is made of copper. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, guys. But kind of a copper material, so she rusts. She gets green and moldy. She'll tend to do that. Character-wise, there's this sense of younger brother, even though she is the oldest. And whenever I watch her perform on stage, when I first introduced to the Steam Power Giraffe, I would watch Rabbit perform, and one of the first things I noticed was a lot of people were like, oh my god, them hips. And I'm like, that's actually not the first thing I noticed. First thing I noticed, aside from their looks, from their actual physical appearance, was those eyes. There's something about Rabbit's eyes. And when I was first watching it, I would just like, what am I watching? Oh my god, she's staring into my soul! Staring into my piercing soul! And I'm just not sure how to handle it. And I'm just like freaking out. Like, why? What? Those eyes. She would stare into your soul. And just, you felt this power coming from behind the eyes. And I'm just like, ugh! Yeah! Gulp. And so I would just have this weird feeling of, like, uncomfort, but a good uncomfort, you know, it's a good thing to have this. It's that, typical uncomfort that is it's not like you're threatened, but it is a form of intimidation at least. So, I don't feel too awful bad when I say that. Because I know, like, some people are like, when you get that kind of look when people just stare into you, that can be uncomfortable for some people. And I'm just like, nope. Nope. I feel good. I love Rabbit as a character and as a concept, as an idea. How random she is on stage. There's this kind of evolution that does take place during the first and second into the third album. Is that there is this evolution taking place. When we first meet Rabbit, Rabbit is just random. But I feel like Rabbit kind of grows up a little bit. And there is some kind of evolution taking place with her character, and I want her to be... Yeah, you know, you don't want her to get rid of her spunkiness, but at the same time, you kind of want her to grow up a little bit. And I think this evolution of gender switch actually will help with that and help her be who she wants to be. But what's also kind of interesting is that I guess the whole ow, leg. Sorry, my leg just cramped. Well, it didn't cramp, but it fell asleep on me. Yep, that feels great. Good job, leg. Just freeze up on me because I'm sitting on the floor. Ugh, shake it off. Grab my knee. Shake it off. I kind of hope that this gender switch doesn't become too much of a problem. I want to be assured that she's going to make this switch, and she's doing it with the greatest intent of herself, and that this is her choice. Not because of somebody else being a derp. And not because, not to feel like it needs to be done, but I guess, yeah, it needs to be done for her own sake, but I guess what I'm trying to get at is that she's doing this for her own right. Not because it needs to be done for health reasons, but because it needs to be done for herself. And that's the goal of any kind of change like that. So it's all based on that. But bottom line, I love Rabbit. Rabbit is the little brother or sister, or however you want to look at that, little sister. Hatchie's the baby brother. Rabbit is the older sibling, but you don't look at her that way. You don't look at Rabbit like that. You look at Rabbit as the younger sibling, even though she was built first. I have no idea. But I adore Rabbit. I really do. I really don't know how to describe the Rabbit that I want to, because she's just that awesome. But we're going to move on. Yeah, this is going to be an hour-long podcast. Here we go. Spine. 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 In canon, Spine has a titanium alloy spine, which means he's not going to rust. He's going to do his own thing. And he was built probably soon after Rabbit. Even though he's still fairly... I don't want to say new. He's not fairly new. I want to say that Spine took over. When the original creator of the automatons came around, when the original creator of the automatons died, Spine kind of took the plate. He took he walked up to the batting plate and said, "I'm going to take over this team." In canon, the original creator had to have died at some point. Rabbit kind of doesn't upgrade because she wants to hold on to what the past has. Spine keeps upgrading to become more and more and newer and keeps getting better in goal to become a human. Well, no, I don't know if he wants to actually become a human, but he does want to be accepted as a human. He tries to perceive and keep going to become a human being. And I feel like Spine has this need to accomplish the ability to be a human, which starts my problem with steam-powered giraffe logic. I want to be like a human. Install stegosaurus spikes. Good job, logic. In this interesting long run, though, Spine is a gentleman. Spine is very mature. A lot of people mistaken Spine as the oldest one, and he's not. He's actually far younger, that I understand, than Spine. Or if Spine's more younger than Rabbit, I'm okay. I'm totally looking at Tumblr while doing this. I shouldn't be. But I feel like... I don't want to feel bad for Spine. I don't feel bad for Spine. I feel somewhat relatable to Spine. What's interesting about these automatons is you relate to them more than just, say, these characters who live in a heaven of some kind. And these guys don't. Their popularity just came around recently. And despite in canon being created since, like 1800s. And yet, they've still managed to pull through as far as they have. I think what's interesting about Spine, I keep picturing him as this mature adult. He keeps the other two in line. When their original creator died, he stepped up and said, "I'm going to keep these guys in line. I'm going to create this adulthood and somebody that these two can look up to, because Rabbit won't do it." I think in a way, Rabbit and Spine are very close, and for good reason, too. I feel kind of bad for Spine in a way, because Spine is the most advanced of them all. He goes out and tries to date girls, and they know that he's an automaton, he's a robot, but they go out with him anyways, just to say that they did. And then he gets dumped. And that's horrible. for a character or anybody to go through that kind of, any kind of, treatment is not fair or fun. And for Spine to have to go through that, on top of taking care of a band, on top of taking care of Rabbit and Hatchie, I kind of sympathize with him as a character, and I kind of feel like as if Spine's getting tired. I'm not sure how to go about the rest of that, but I feel like Spine's getting tired. But there are those interesting sparks of not really getting tired. I think there are moments when he gets his energy back and rejuvenates, but I think there's a point where he gets tired. I don't know if that's going to become a canon thing, but that's just me evaluating the character. So, now that you have a background, and I spent half an hour explaining to you, the characters, my thoughts on the characters, my thoughts on their canon, why do I love this group so much? This whole holiday season, I have not been listening to any Christmas music. This whole holiday season has been nothing but Steam Powered Giraffe. Throughout this month, I had been indulging myself in Steam Powered Giraffe music. I have to admit, it's kind of a, I want to say it's a guilty pleasure, in a way, because Steam Powered Giraffe does this kind of music genre that I'm not really originally into. Though I am into steampunk, I'm just not so fond usually of the music. It's not usually my genre. When I normally see a performer goes up on stage, it's usually you sing songs, you have a couple words back and forth, and you're done. With Steam Powered Giraffe, you have a song, you have intermission, you have song and then conversation, or a skit, or a malfunction, as it always happens. Rabbit tends to, they skit that they do involves Rabbit having a malfunction during Honeybee, but sometimes they're, like Yumicon 2012, sometimes a glitch happens and they can ad-lib it in. I think it's really interesting that Steam Powered Giraffe has become this amazing band. More than a band, they are a family. There is an interesting lore to the characters. This is the lore and the characters came first, not even the band. The lore and the characters came first. The music was just to accompany the idea. When I watch these guys on stage, and when I watch these guys perform, I have yet to see them live, but I want to so bad. When I see them live on camera, I want to be there so bad and suck myself through that computer and just be there. There's this energy that comes off of the screen when I watch them. This energy, this idea that comes through the screen that I just want to so badly be a part of. I want to be part of this family. When it comes to performers these days, it's all about cash money, drugs, sex, alcohol. Literally is what it is. But it's odd because Steam Powered Giraffe is none of that. And yet I've come to accept it as a genre, as a band of liking. There's a lot of bands I listen to that have none of that involved. I listen to Gaelic, I've got Celtic, I've got techno and trance and dubstep, rock and roll, soft rock, Phil Collins, Journey, Def Leppard, AC/DC, anime, video game. I have a whole different variety. I don't fond of country, but I can stand it a little bit. I don't fond of jazz, but I can listen to it. I don't fond of the blues. I can listen to it. There's not a genre I don't like. It's just, what are you singing and portraying about? How good are you at portraying what you want to portray? That's all I care about. And what's interesting is whenever I watch these guys, I've been craving for more. what Steam Powered Giraffe has offered us is an opportunity to be something we're not. And cosplayers go through this all the time with anime. But here, we have permission from Steam Powered Giraffe to come up with our own automatons. To come up with our own characters and lore. And if you could think it, it could be in the world. That's pretty amazing. That's not very often when you find a band that'll let you do that. As long as you don't mess with their original characters. Which is fair enough. But there are seriously times when I will watch Steam Powered Giraffe, and there's only been a couple of times when I've wanted to cry. And I haven't cried yet with Steam Powered Giraffe. But there have been times where I get these massive feels. And I know it's a horrible terminology to use, especially on a podcast, but you get this emotional drive with Steam Powered Giraffe. With Steam Powered Giraffe, you feel like you're there with them. You sympathize with them. You want to hug them when something wrong happens or when somebody gets insulted. You connect more with a character when they've gone through hell than you ever will than just some regular celebrity. I think Steam Powered Giraffe gave us something to kind of believe in. They created a family. They created a system that works. I want them to succeed. I want them to be fantastic. I want them to be sold out concerts. If they want to up their rating years down the road, up your rating. Curse every once in a while. If you choose not to, don't worry. Don't change your cuss words. Don't curse. That's not a necessity. But with Steam Powered Giraffe, it gave me personally the opportunity to let my brain run away. I'm going through a little bit of a tough time personally with my family. My ideas of the world, my ideas of some of my friends even. And just trying to piece together where I belong. Not very often can I find a band where I can just lay on my bed and just let my brain wander. And that never happens. Usually when I let my brain wander, bad things happen. Linkin Park I can do that with. But Linkin Park I also get the drive to write, I get the drive to do certain things. Steam Powered Giraffe allows me to just shut down and just take in what I am listening to and just allow it to grow. It allows my brain to go somewhere else. If there's anything involving the band that I wish I could do, it's one of few things. I wish I could learn to play the keyboard with Michael Reed. I wish I could learn to play the drums with Matt Smith. Cool. I wish I could have the opportunity to play with Hatchie. Just play. Just like little kid play. Even like, let's play tea time. Just hug Hatchie and just, hey, cool, let's do this. I wish I could dance with Rabbit. I wish I could have the opportunity to stand next to her and synchronize our hips and just dance. I don't care if she takes over the show. That's her fucking show. I'm not gonna take it from her. But I wish I could dance with Rabbit. I wish I could hang out and bounce off these guys' comedy and just hang out. And be on stage with them just for comedy. Not even for singing. And I'll just walk off stage. I'll pretend to be your manager. I swear. and just interact with Rabbit. And I wish I could give Spine the time of day and dance with him in a slow dance and be romantic with Spine. I think it'd be interesting. Because Spine is a character that is very gentlemanlike. I don't think people realize how lonely I think Spine actually is. I think Spine is really lonely. Despite having automaton brothers and sisters. I think what I would love to see of Spine is to just be with Spine and learn of his caring for his brothers and sisters and whoever else is left. Because Spine needs the time of day and needs to be treated right. I don't give two shits if he has a soul or not. We don't even really know if we have souls. Souls is a concept created to give us comfort. Who cares if he has a soul or not? I don't even know if we have souls. I just know that we go somewhere after death. I just don't know where. Insert religion here. But being a Christian, I feel like that's conflicting, but at the same time, it kind of makes sense. You know, who are we to say what has a living energy to it or not? Who are we to say that animals don't have souls? Who's to say that animals don't go to heaven? But with Spine, I would give so much to be on stage with Steam Power Giraffe and bounce comedy off them, even if for 5 minutes, and just be sassy with them, because they're so sassy, and just give them the time of day, because I think in their own right, all of them are lonely. They have each other, but I think they're still lonely. I think it's an interesting concept to assume that they can be somewhat lonely and sad, but I think the music is what's keeping them going. We, the fans, are what's keeping them as characters going. Without us, I don't think they would get very far. And that goes for in and out of character. Out of character, who knows what their lives are like and whether they're lonely or not, I can't say. You know, that's not my right to say. But without us, Steam Power Giraffe would be nothing. And that goes for any band. You know, that goes for Linkin Park would be nothing without us. Justin Bieber would be nothing without us, though I don't really give two shits about Justin Bieber. Still the point remains, Steam Power Giraffe gave us the opportunity to be some part of something. And there's some really amazing moments that I watched and I just said, that's it, I'm hooked. With Hatchie, it's when he interacts with Rabbit. Whenever Spine talks about the Wild Wild West and they're trying to snap him back into reality. Super diarrhea. But the way Hatchie bounces off of everyone and Hatchie's attempt to be a part of everything. With Rabbit, when Rabbit can take whatever roles and just whatever. When there was a technical glitch in the last performance they ever had at the San Diego Zoo, it's one of my favorite live performances of Make Believe. Probably one of my favorite songs. It is literally my theme song, and Michael Reed's guitar kind of glitched. I don't know what happened, but for some reason it wouldn't work. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it broke, but it didn't work. And Rabbit's just like, I can't carry this song because the guitar carries this song, and it's really throwing me off. But that's okay, because we had fun anyways. That moment of collection and calm, okay, we're gonna get through this. We're gonna persevere. We're gonna get through this performance. We're not gonna drop anything. Except for the one time they were at a steampunk world fair of some kind, and the audio blew in their ears, and Rabbit's like, ow, time for a water break. And it ruined half of the performance. Oh, by the way, that was in the middle of Honeybee, and Rabbit was due to break down again, and you can hear it in Rabbit's voice when she's like, set me free, my, and she starts glitching. You can hear it in Bunny's voice that she was just like, I don't want to do this, can we skip it? But she does it anyways. How many more malfunctions are we going to have? And the crap she puts up with. Ugh. But there's also this interesting... There's actually a couple of interesting unified moments there was a performance uploaded. It was an hour and a half long performance of them at, I think it was at the same, it was the same show as the Glitch Honeybee Glitch Honeybee moment, when everything exploded on them and they were like, ow. They go in this Wild Wild West rap and Spine starts dancing with Rabbit. And it's like, I want that as a GIF, and I want that as an internal loop so I can watch it on my media player and just watch it loop forever and ever and ever. Lols. Like, I get excited. I sat there, had my cursor on the very spot where it starts, and they start rapping to Wild Wild West. And they're, like, dancing, and they start, like, the crowd goes crazy. You're just like, yes! So, yeah, it was, like, hilarious to see that. But what sealed the deal for me? What truly sealed the deal is, I think, during Automatonic Electronic Harmonics, there's a moment where there's like a short pause and a tap of the drum. There's like a one note drum shot and it's like boom, you know. It's on my phone as my background, as my wallpaper. And Spine gets down on one knee. And not just during Fire, it's actually during the song. I'm pretty sure it's Automatonic Electronic Harmonics. And he holds his fist up. And he holds it there. And there's this moment of unity and energy when Hatchie comes in from his right. And Rabbit comes in from his left. And there's this unified three-way fist bump. And then they continue as normally. That initial bump, that initial unified, we are powerful people, we are a family fist bump, sealed the deal for me. That initial three-way fist bump, that was it. That was it. I was like, nope, these guys are sold. They're mine. I want them. They're my automatons. I want them. And it sealed the deal for me. It truly did seal the deal for me. I've been driving my boyfriend nuts with this whole thing, and I feel bad. But I feel like Steam Powered Giraffe gave us something far more powerful than any other person in the media industry, in any kind of industry, to give us something to look forward to believe in. And if somebody asked me, you know, what is the theme to Steam Powered Giraffe, there's a lot. I feel like if somebody asked me, what is the theme to Steam Powered Giraffe, it would be that no matter what happens, no matter what comes your way, you will have family. No matter what, there's somebody there who will get you through it. In their case, it's not blood. It's they come from the same core, but that doesn't make a difference for them. They're robots, but they're still, even though they say they don't have feelings, they still do. They worry about each other. They smile, they grin, they question, they feel awkward. They just don't know what to do much with it sometimes. And I think there's also a self-identity, and I don't mean by Rabbit's transgender. Each of them are going through some kind of identity. Some kind of identity process. Hatchie, we're learning about him and how he's growing into the group and what he's going to do. How Sam is going to handle the character and how there's this unified idea of who he's going to become. What is he going to bring to the world of Steam Powered Giraffe? What is this idea that's going to come to the plate and be like, yes, that is Hatchie. This is a constant identity for him in trying to create this character. And what is going to become of Hatchie? Who is Hatchie? And we're still learning that to this day. And who will he become? What is something that's going to become amazing? Where is going to be his ultimate yeehaw? We got that with Rabbit, obviously, with the transgender change. Going through not only a character persona change, but through a personal persona change as Bunny. And seeing how going against society, and really what I feel Make Believe is like one of their main theme songs, is basically how no matter what with society, it's ironic because it doesn't give two shits whether or not Bunny. Okay, first off, it doesn't give two shits whether Bunny can change gender or not. She can. Free will, people. Free will, okay? But what's ironic is the fact that they're automatons. They don't have a gender anyways. Why are you freaking out over automatons? They're characters. Quit freaking out. It's ironic because automatons have no gender. They don't have a gender. So society assigns them a gender, and if they want to change their gender identity, suddenly, oh, look at that. You can't do that. It will ruin everything for Steam Powered Giraffe. Bullshit! It's ironic that if they were even real robots, they have no gender identity. We give them that identity, and if they want to change, it's wrong. And even if so, in a human perspective, it is not my choice to say that Bunny should or should not change. That is an identity for her, not only as a person, but for her character who is her anyways. That identity is being changed for her and being part of who she wants to be. Spine, as a character, is going through this constant change of trying to understand and become this masterful idea of what society is. His character and his identity of trying to be as human in a way as possible, constantly upgrading himself so he could perform that act to become human, is far more than I could ever understand. Not only as a human, but somebody who's an automaton trying to figure that out as a character. In terms of David, I couldn't tell you. I think with him, he's kind of the leader of the group, and he has to be able to balance out himself as well as the group at the same time. He just recently is starting to recover from being sick, and the last thing I want to see is for him to overwork his ass off and get so sick he can't work anymore, which he has. That worries me. That could shut the whole group down if the main leader can't keep up. Who's going to take over? Probably Rabbit. I would assume. Maybe Sam. I don't know. One of those two is going to take the reins. But the idea of David going through some sort of identity is to balance himself as well as the group at the same time. And to be able to hold on to that. And be able to say, I can do this as a leader. I am... Technically, David's like a minute or two older than Bunny, so that kind of works out. I'm actually older than you! And just him taking the reins and saying, we're gonna do this. We're gonna push. I keep seeing him as a leader. And it makes sense in and out of character. But to be able to hold on to what he is and still pull himself through the characters. And all three of them do this. But to be able to put himself forward as a character and as a person at the same time. All three of them go through that. Back on Spine, I'm sorry, Spine, that you have to go through what you do. Because no one should have to feel like, and that goes for all three of them, no one should have to feel like they're not good enough. They all keep getting shut down in some way. Hatchie with trying to get along with everybody and trying to find out who he is. He got shut down for 74 years or so. 74, 75 years, something like that. Who is he? You know, what's his character development? Who is he? Rabbit. Getting a gender change. Everyone judging. Woo! I'm sorry to both of you for that. I'm sorry to Spine that people treat you as a character like shit. Because no human being wants to give you the time of day. Because you're an automaton. You're a robot. But yet you do feel something, right? You feel kind of some form of emotion. Otherwise you wouldn't feel bad for the fact that you get dumped by girls all the time. Right? Right? So there's this kind of combination of family to help you push through your identity. I almost feel like it's a two-sided coin. Where no matter despite what they are going through, they still have each other. They still have a family. This was not present when the John was there. This was not present when Upgrade was there. This was here recently when Hatchie joined, which is why I feel like Hatchie's kind of the key to the group, because all of this started applying once Hatchie joined. All of these lessons started kind of applying and started colliding with each other. And we get to see a little bit of ourselves in each of these characters. I kind of do the same thing when I watch My Little Pony, but you can almost identify yourself in some way with each of the ponies. I feel like you can identify yourselves with each of the automatons, even the John sometimes. I have stupid moments where I can't think, and I say stupid shit that makes no logical sense, like the John. I have kind of my derp moments where I have to kind of create up on the fly something that makes absolutely no sense. It's supposed to make up some sort of reason for why I was flawed in some statement, so I have to come up with some kind of excuse for it. Hence the, like, my glasses can totally see into the future. I knew what you were going to say. Patchy, actually you have glasses because you have bad eyes. Oh, I was just testing your memory modules. It's like, I have to do that myself. Rabbit, I want to be as eccentric and bouncy and charismatic. And Spine, I want to have that identity. I want to have that maturity that Spine has, but yet knows how to kind of bring it back and have fun. He knows how to be mature and have fun at the same time. Cowboy yeehaw. So I think we can all kind of relate to the characters, and we have something to uphold to ourselves and be able to see through the characters. We know how to find each other in our characters. These characters are so in-depth. They're deep, rich characters that we can get behind. And I don't care if they're not the genre I normally listen to. I am addicted to these guys. I want the vinyl so bad when it comes out. The day the vinyl comes out, I don't know when that'll be. I want this so bad. I want to have a day where I can be on the stage with them and just bounce off of them. I want to ad-lib with them. I want to interact with them. I want to invest ideas into their characters and see what becomes of them. I'm addicted, and I don't... It's kind of scary in a way, because I really don't like being addicted like this for 2-3 weeks on end, because it gets distracting. Luckily, it's Christmas vacation, not the middle of school. Let's just go with that. But I literally do not know, in the deepest of my heart, what will become of these characters, and what becomes of the comic. I'm really excited for the comic, and I've got like 4 minutes, so here we go. I'm really excited for the comic. I want the comic so bad. So bad. Because I want to see them by default. Without the music, without the skits. Who are they in the comic? Who are these automatons? Who are these people? They're people to me. Regardless. And what they've done, I know they realized it now. But do the automatons, the characters, realize what they've done for us, the fans? I have finally found an opportunity in a way to be able to hold on to something that I believe in. They did find a way into my heart. They did find a way into my heart. They did. And I don't even know how. Other than just the fact that they've done some things that society has said no to, and they did it anyways. When I watch the group out on stage, I see completely different people than when I watch their Steam Power Giraffe Hour. Because I see two totally different groups. When I look at David and I look at Spine, I see two totally different people. When I see Bunny and I see Rabbit, I see two totally different people. When I see Sam and I see Hatchie, I see two totally different people. I don't see them as the same person. Character, acting, and dedication. That is what that is. And for me to become addicted to something as positive and uplifting as this group, I can only imagine what else they're going to pitch in when the 4th album comes out. I wish them luck on their endeavors to the 4th album, to their next album after that, and into the future. I want them to succeed. I want them to become more than this. Keep going, guys. Don't stop now. Keep going. I'm rooting for you guys. I'm rooting for all of you. And I can't wait. I want more. Give me more, give me more. I can't sing, I don't care. Yeah! This is Musi for PRS Films from Musi's YouTube podcast. I need to get this thing uploaded. And I have work tomorrow. It's been raining. The weather here in Ohio has been crap. So it's been raining on and off. So there's my spiel. Sorry for the hour-long podcast. I will talk to some of you guys later. Give me a comment down below. Tell me your thoughts on Steam Power Giraffe. Tell me whatever you want. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. How have they inspired you? What have they done for you? What is your, what is your one gripping thought about Steam Power Giraffe? I wish I could keep going, but I can't. I love it when I get excited about stuff like this. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Peace out, and have a safe holiday. I will not be hearing you guys from a while. So, have a safe holiday, Steam Power Giraffe. Have a safe holiday, audience, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, or as I like to call it, Chrisahana Kwanzaa. Okay? Be good. Chrisahana Kwanzaa Yulmas. Chrisahana Kwanzaa Yule? Merry Chrisahana Kwanzaa Yule. Chrisahana Kwanzaa Yule? Chrisahana Yule. I give up.